Hey, what's up guys, it's Tarek from Kamikaze.com, and due to the recent release of the highly anticipated Halo 4, I felt inclined to pick up the art book as I'm a fan of the series, but also because I love looking at concept art. I find it really interesting, and I wanted to share my thoughts on this with those who are interested as well. Titan Books have done a great job assembling 192 pages of rich, detailed concept art, from character designs to breathtaking environments. Firstly, the book itself stands 12 inches tall and 9 inches wide, so nothing too substantial here, though it's definitely large enough to flaunt the stunning illustrations. So naturally, as a hardback, the book has a really nice thick spine and strong binding to keep together these heavy-weighted pages that make bleed-through non-existent. So the book itself is divided into 5 in-depth chapters that encompass pretty much every artistic aspect of the game. Chapter 1 is comprised of these gorgeous environments like the long-lost landscapes of Requiem. This section pretty much takes you by hand and guides you through all the lavish environments you experience in the game from start to finish. A wide array of these exquisitely detailed images extend across 2 pages, many of which are accompanied by an excerpt from 343's artist or Paul Davies, both explaining the vision behind each concept. Now, what amazes me about these pictures is that they're just ideas that belong to the minds of these highly imaginative people, of course, but they're then materialized into something so beautiful that it could easily delude our thoughts into accepting its existence. The next portion of the book is centralized in the UNSC. Surprisingly, you won't see too much of Master Chief here, but that's compensated by some pages that are dedicated to Spartans in general. So here you gaze upon some early conceptual stages of Cortana's design, something I found to be pretty interesting as the lead art director, Kenneth Scott, initially had different plans set for her looks in order to highlight her rampancy. Aviation doesn't exactly have a cameo role in the game as you take it to the skies more than once, but you can really get a sense as to why it's so apparent in the game when you see it from the perspective of the artist, like John Liberta, who says he wanted to make it feel as if Chief was trespassing through the upper reaches of Requiem, and naturally, his art reflects his thoughts perfectly. There's a vast amount of other pages in this section featuring UNSC weapons, some that weren't actually implemented in the final game. Then you have character sketches, vehicles that are Goliaths in size like the Mammoth, and then the large vessels that could eat the Mammoth for breakfast like Forward Until Dawn and Infinity. The next 2 chapters are dedicated to the player's perpetual enemy, the Covenant, and the newest threat, the Prometheans. Here your eyes will bear witness to some of the awesome concepts they had for the elites. They were trying to explore how they could adapt Hardlight to their armor, and clearly they had some pretty cool ideas. Every other page in this chapter focuses on Covenant warriors, weapons, vehicles, and armor. The Forerunner and Promethean section is really where it gets interesting, as we know the Prometheans aren't exactly synthetic, so 343 really tried to convey that message by going for this ghost in the shell effect when the knights are defeated. This is probably one of my favourite parts of the book, as the concept art here is pretty amazing. Then we have the Didax armor and the facial concepts. You can tell that 343 put a lot of effort into this design, as the end product hit the sweet spot. Seeing it in-game for the first time definitely made the Didax seem like a badass. The book finishes up with some stunning environmental concepts for competitive multiplayer and Spartan Ops, and you're also good to see a few armor concepts here too. This is one of the larger chapters in the book, and it's literally overflowing with some mesmerizing landscapes. These designs could stand alone as masterpieces, no exaggeration intended. I've seen some pretty average art books in the past, but I assure you, this is not one of them. It's so easy to acknowledge the talent of these artists once your eyes are fixed upon their phenomenal illustrations. A lot of work went into this 3-year endeavour, and it definitely shows. Awakening the art of Halo 4 is a must for any Halo fan, and it certainly deserves a special place in your shelf. For more art book and comic reviews, subscribe and check out Kamikaze.com, but that's it for now. See ya. It's so easy to appreciate. Fuck.